Hello everyone, today, I will recap the movie Hypnotic. This movie shows how powerful a person with high-level hypnosis is. Can simply control the opponent with just a look. Let's explore the types of hypnosis and distinguish its strengths and weaknesses. Please follow the recap of today's movie. The story begins when a man named Dilrain tells a woman, "You look really hot." She immediately feels unbearably hot and loses control, stepping into the middle of the road while taking off her shirt. This strange scene causes a driver to crash into another car. However, the worst is yet to come. Dilrain continues to move towards the policemen, who are holding guns, and whispers something to them. No one expected that the policemen immediately turn into two thugs, point the gun to the sky and shoot continuously. Not stopping there, the man also noticed a receptionist and applied the same technique. It is unclear what he said to her, but she immediately did as he said. The girl calmly walked towards the safe, and although Danny was pointing a gun at her head, she was not afraid. On the contrary, she smiled mysteriously. At this moment, the two policemen from before came and shot Danny. Fortunately, he was wearing a bulletproof vest. With the help of the two policemen, the young girl threw the safe into the car, but did not run away. Instead, she deliberately crashed into another car on the side of the road, causing chaos among the crowd watching. While everyone was panicking, Dilrain took this opportunity to take the safe and plant a bomb inside. Then, there was a loud bang. All traces disappeared. Dilrain ran away, while Danny did not give him a chance to escape. Dilrain reached the roof of the building, facing two policemen pointing guns at him. Instead of panicking, he claimed that they had the wrong man. The situation immediately changed, and the two policemen pointed their guns at Danny. Although Danny did not understand what was happening, he still took out a photo of his daughter. In fact, Danny had opened the safe before, but what worried him was that his daughter had been missing for many years. Dilrain seemed very interested in this photo, indicating that Danny's daughter's mysterious disappearance was closely related to Dilrain. Just as Danny was about to get an answer from Dilrain, his backup team arrived. Dilrain turned and walked away, saying, "Clean up this mess for me." Immediately afterwards, the policemen pointed their guns at each other and opened fire. When Danny regained consciousness, Dilrain had mysteriously disappeared. The strange scene left Danny in disbelief, but the only thing he knew for sure was that his daughter was still alive. It turned out that 3 years ago, Danny was playing with the little girl when he was hypnotized by a pinwheel. When he woke up, he found that his daughter had disappeared. The only person Danny suspected could not be punished for mental problems. So Danny tried to become a police to find out the truth. He kept reviewing surveillance videos but found no clues. However, a call from his assistant gave him new hope. The police had tracked down and given Danny an address. When Danny arrived, he met the shop owner, Diana, who had called the police earlier. Danny's appearance seemed to have been predicted by Diana. As soon as he entered the house, he was stopped by a large man. However, under Diana's reassurance, the man could only stand outside and wait. Diana knew that the reason Danny came was to find his daughter. She wanted to help Danny find answers through hypnosis, but Danny refused. He just wanted to know who Diana was, and asked her to guess the identity of the bank robber. Surprisingly, when she learned the name of the mysterious man, Diana immediately intended to leave. It seemed that she was very afraid of that man. As expected, a dark shadow suddenly appeared behind the muscular man. Just a second later, a car crashed into the house. Luckily, both of them managed to avoid it. When the attacker removed his helmet, they realized that it was the muscular man who had been hypnotized. It seemed that they had attracted the attention of Dilrain. Danny had no idea that hypnosis could be so powerful. To ensure their safety, he decided to take Diana to the police station immediately. Right here, Danny realized the horror of hypnosis. Diana only needed to say a few words to the Nix, police officer he trusted, and Nix would immediately do as she says. Now, he needed to leave quickly. This surprised Danny. Then Nix walked towards the police station like a zombie with a gun in his hand. Despite Danny's warning, he did not stop and pointed his gun at Danny. However, Danny reacted faster. He thought that being shot would help his teammate wake up, but he underestimated the ability of the supreme hypnotists. Only after completing the hypnosis task could the state be completely released. At that time, even being handcuffed could not stop Nix from completing the task. Nor can she wake him up by talking. In desperation, Diana has no choice but to shoot Nix. At that moment, as the sheriff, Danny is forced to believe Diana's words. Hypnosis in this case is different from normal hypnosis. It completely takes over the other person's mind, distorting their perception of reality and turning them into walking zombies. They will continue to carry out their mission until it is completed. The previous bank robberies had been carried out by an organization. The goal of this organization was to control all of American politics and then dominate the world. Diana was one of those hypnotists. When she accidentally discovered the evil purpose of the organization, she decided to cooperate with Danny. Nick's tragic death made Danny and Diana become wanted criminals. Although they were disguised, they were still policed by the discovered, due to the wound on Danny's hand that was still there. When the police pulled out a gun, Diana quickly hypnotized him. This not only helped them escape the emergency situation, but also provided them with a free breakfast. However, as soon as they left, Delrain, using his power, led a group of hypnotized policemen to chase them. Danny had no choice but to run into the train station alone, because he was the one Delrain was looking for. Strangely, no matter where Danny hid, he still felt like he was running in circles. A strange sight appeared in the sky, a series of moving train tracks, like a mirror reflecting the ground. Danny wakes up and finds himself in a desperate situation. At the crucial moment, a truck suddenly hits the person who is about to shoot him, and Diana saves Danny in time. After the crisis, the two successfully cross the border. During the journey, Diana reveals the reason why Danny is not hypnotized. It turns out that the pain of losing his daughter has caused Danny to build a protective barrier, making him immune to Delrain's hypnosis. They arrive at a police checkpoint where they are looking for two wanted policemen. However, before the policeman can speak, Diana hypnotizes him unconsciously. The two pass through the checkpoint without any trouble. Later, Diana meets her mentor in the organization, who is also her former teacher. While listening to her mentor share information, they discover a surprising secret. The reason Delrain is invincible is due to a hypnotic drug, which has the side effect of causing amnesia. In order to recover her memory, Delrain needs to find a trigger point in her subconscious, and Danny's daughter is one of those points. Once Delrain identified all the trigger points and restored his memories, no one could resist his hypnosis. Just as Danny was about to give the photo of his daughter to his mentor, Diana stopped him. However, when Diana took a closer look at her mentor, she was horrified to realize that her mentor had strangely transformed into Delrain. He then fired a shot at the running couple. The two hurriedly left, and the townspeople became Delrain's minions. Seeing many people outside, Danny shoots down a man on a motorcycle. The two get on the motorcycle to escape. While they are running, Diana pulls out a baseball bat and attacks everyone they meet. A strange scene unfolds before their eyes. Suddenly, a pickup truck blocks their path, causing houses to begin to collapse. It seems that Delrain's illusion has real power over them. They quickly run into an alley, but Danny doesn't realize that they have fallen into Delrain's trap. Now, the two had no way out, and Delrain appeared, slowly approaching Danny and Diana. Finally, the mastermind behind everything was revealed. Diana sensed that Danny was about to be controlled. Suddenly, something unexpected happened that completely changed the situation. It was Sheriff Danny's impressive hypnosis skills, surpassing even Delrain's. And he was arrested. To find his missing daughter, he had to ask for help from River, a hacker. This computer system is housed in a specialized water-cooled tank, allowing it to operate continuously without generating heat. The machine can operate day and night at extremely high speeds. Just enter the name, and all information about Danny will be displayed. The data shows that Danny served in the U.S. Marine Corps and worked at the police department for 12 years. Although the information shows that he is married, there is no information about Danny's wife. Danny provided a name. They immediately discovered that the wife he met at college was actually an agent for a hypnosis organization. Danny was unsure if his daughter's disappearance had anything to do with it. While he was thinking about his family, a strange call suddenly came in. On the other end of the line was Delrain, who threatened Danny that to save his daughter, he had to kill Diana. However, Diana was the one who helped him. How could Danny kill her? Danny threw the phone away. But when he tried to call Diana, he picked up a pair of scissors. Diana immediately sensed something was wrong and realized that Danny had been hypnotized. In desperation, she resorted to intimate action to wake him up. When the hypnosis finally ended, Danny seemed to remember something. He had secretly taken River's hard drive. Danny then turned on his computer and entered Diana's name into the system. The results confused him, as the information showed that Diana was indeed his wife. Even the image on the phone inexplicably shifted to Diana's. Danny quickly searched for information about his daughter and immediately uncovered the truth. It turned out that Danny and Diana were indeed a couple. Both are members of a hypnotist organization, and their daughter possesses great powers. Not only did she have exceptional hypnosis abilities, but she was also naturally immune to all hypnosis techniques. To prevent his daughter from becoming a tool of the organization, Danny is forced to hide her and hypnotize himself. The price to pay for this decision is extremely high, but it is the only way to protect his daughter. Everything has changed. It turns out that everything that happened before was just an illusion, and all the characters in it were agents of the organization. Nix, the police colleague who died at the beginning of the film, is, in fact, still alive. Danny can't trust anyone because even his wife, who is on the side of the bad guys, wants to use his daughter as a weapon, while claiming that they are doing it for daughter's own good. Danny says nothing, and just turns around. Even the virtual environment and the buildings are designed to deal with him. They have used every resource for the past 4 years, constantly repeating simulations to trap him, and force Danny to reveal where his daughter is. Delrain is behind all these plans. He has only one goal, to find Danny's daughter. This mission has been done 12 times, and every time Delrain gets close to the truth he stops there. It is clear that Danny is very confident in the way he hides his daughter. Diana wants to approach him emotionally, using good memories to convince him. However, Danny remains steadfast because in his heart, his daughter is the most important thing. Danny's reaction makes the organization lose patience. At Diana's command, the 13th reset experiment began. Quickly, Danny returned to the day of the bank robbery. All the actors reenacted their roles as before. Although Danny's world was very different from reality, the plot still unfolded according to the planned scenario. On the outside, it was merely a model with extras, who were members of the Red Shirt organization, but in Danny's world, they were all citizens of the town. However, just as the bank robbery scenario was about to be deployed, Danny mysteriously disappeared. The disappearance of the Danny character caused chaos within the organization. While everyone in the group was confused, Danny drove a car out of the base gate. The only thing he left behind was a notebook. What was written in it made Diana realize that the name on her daughter's photo was actually an address. Danny relied on it to recover his memory. His daughter was hiding at his foster parents' house. Although Danny arrived first, the organization's armed helicopter was also approaching. He rushed into the house and met his daughter, whom he had not seen for the past 5 years. When Danny entered, his daughter opened her eyes from her meditation and said, "I've been waiting for you for a long time." Overwhelmed, he hugged her tightly, but their time together was about to end. The organization members had already arrived at the door. Delrain led a large army to attack this house. They shot Danny's adoptive parents without a word. However, their deaths did not sadden Danny. Instead, he called out to his daughter. When she saw her mother, she uttered a sentence that surprised Diana. "We are finally free from their control. We are no longer bound by them." Delrain now realized that they had been unwittingly controlled by Danny's daughter. Everything before their eyes was just an illusion. Danny's daughter turned to look at the members of the organization, and immediately, all the red-shirt hypnotists were under her control. They began to attack their teammates in a frenzy. This was the first time Delrain felt out of control. She also used her powers to free her mother from hypnosis. At this point, almost all members were dead. Nix pointed a gun at Danny, but then he put the gun to his chin and ended his life. Delrain also returned to reality, but he could only helplessly watch Danny's foster parents kill his group members. He had a hard time accepting that he had fallen into the hands of a young girl. Delrain angrily pointed a gun at Danny, but the girl was too strong for him to threaten. When she opened her eyes, Delrain lost control and began shooting herself in the stomach. Diana was also free from the illusion by her daughter. At this point, Danny finally told the whole truth. It turned out that Danny's daughter had been born with special abilities, with the ability to control others with just a look. To prevent her from becoming a dangerous weapon, the couple devised a plan. They started by resetting each other's memories, then carried out Delrain's plan to use it to their advantage. Finally, all the members of the organization gathered together and let their daughter use her ability to destroy all the enemies in one go. The elaborate plan laid out over the past 3 years worked. They thought the family of 3 would live happily ever after. However, a twist at the end changed the plot, revealing that Delrain was indeed resurrected. As for the future, we can only wait for the sequel to see what happens. The film ends here. Hypnosis is a method to explore the subconscious and a state of deep relaxation. If someone has a high level of knowledge about hypnosis, they can make others experience temporary hallucinations or remember past events. However, this experience is difficult to confirm, because only the person being hypnotized can prove what they have experienced. Moreover, when possessing some supernatural power, people are easily led astray by greed. The line between good and evil is very fragile. Thank you for supporting channel, helping the channel develop as it is today. If you find the content interesting, please give me a like and leave a comment about the movie. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to update the latest movie recap. See you again.